Bright Beauty. Every student matters.
Now, once we have studied that which plant parts we use as food and what are the different animal products that we use as food, let's understand and answer some questions. The very first question is that stems of which of the following plants are eaten, right? So, we know that onion is what? It is a modified leaf, right? So, we can simply write it as leaf. Then we know that what is beetroot? It is a root. Then again, carrot is a root, right? Then radish is root. Then again, radish over here also root. Potato is the modified stem. Again, we have potato as the stem that is modified and ginger also the stem that is modified, right? So, the answer is D, that is potato and ginger are the plants whose stem is used as a food material. Then, which of the following animal gives us eggs? So, we know goat is used for milk, milk and meat, and hen is used for eggs. Then further, camel again is used for its milk in the desert, and goat is again used for milk. Then camel is used for milk and duck is used for eggs. As well as in many cases it is also used for meat, right? So duck is used for egg and meat. Similarly over here hen is also used for egg and meat. So here egg and egg. So the answer is D, right? So hen and duck both are used for obtaining eggs, right? Then dash is not a milk product. So out of these, one of the things is not a milk product. So we know butter is a milk product, that is it comes under as the dairy product. Then cheese again is a type of milk, is a milk product. Then curd is again a milk product, whereas bread is not a milk product, it is a plant product. It is a plant product, right? So it is made up of wheat, right? So then again it's a plant product. Now moving on, these are state the part of plant in the following. So what is wheat? Again we know that wheat is a seed, right? So we know the wheat that we use to make the flour out of, and from that we make chapatis, that is what? It is a seed. So we know again orange, what is an orange? It is what? It is a fruit that we eat, right? So this is, we have main five parts of the plant. We have the root, right? We have studied how that there is stem. Then we have the leaf, right? We have the flower, right? And we have the fruit. So these are the main five parts of the plant. So out of these, one of the following and sometimes two or three of the following are utilized as the food product, right? So sugarcane is what? We know that sugarcane is a stem. So what is cabbage? Cabbage is the leaf, right? So we see that these are the different parts of the plant that are utilized as food. Next, give two examples of leaves used as food by human beings, right? So if you go and ask your mother that, and you must have seen that your mom insists every time that you eat the green leafy vegetables because they have lots of vitamins and minerals in them. So you will, if you ask your mom, she will be able to tell you that what are the different examples of the leaves that we eat as the food. So first example that I'm going to give you is your spinach. Now this is one of the major food product that is a person is asked to eat because it is rich in minerals and it is a good source of iron. Then the second is your fenugreek, right? This is again what we call as methi in Hindi, and this is again a plant which whose leaves are eaten. Apart from the leaves in this particular plant, we also eat the seeds, right? So these are the two examples. You can take further examples. You can ask your mother. Even you yourself can explore of the different examples that are there of which leaves are eaten as the food product. Next question. What are the edible and non-edible parts of the plant? So when we are talking about edible plants, that means those parts which we can eat, right? Then there are some parts which are non-edibles, that means the part which we cannot eat, right? So, or Why we cannot eat? First, maybe they are tasteless, maybe they are bitter. Sometimes these non-edible parts are toxic also, right? So the edible parts can be the parts which are eaten by us. For example, if we take the example of tomato, so in tomato we have the fruit that we can eat, right? So we know that tomato, although it is used as a vegetable, is actually what? It is a fruit, right? So this is the part which is edible, whereas in the same plant the leaves are inedible, right? So we cannot eat the leaves of the same plant, right? So there are different, say for example, if we take the example of spinach, right? So spinach is what? It is the part which is leaf is edible, whereas if we take an example of spinach, right? So the leaf of the spinach is edible, right? Then what is inedible? The roots are inedible, right? So in this way we see that the edible parts are the ones which we eat to complete our food requirements, whereas non-edible parts are the ones which we cannot eat because of various reasons, right? So this is the difference between the edible and the non-edible parts of the plant. There can be any part of a plant which can be edible, whereas other part of the same plant will be non-edible, right? Now, how is honey made? We know that honey is what? It is basically an animal product and we obtain it from honey bee, right? This is the plant, it is what? It is an animal product. So how is it made? Definitely it is made with the help of the honey bee, or I should say that what we do actually is simply collect the honey. Rest all the work to make the honey is done by the honey bee. So what happens in this case is that first step is that the honey bees, what they do, they collect nectar from the flowers which are nearby, right? So the nectar is a sweet smelling liquid which is present where? It is present in the flower, which is used to attract the bees, right? So this nectar is collected by the bees from the flower. Then the next step is that they convert this nectar into honey, right? So they convert the nectar into honey. And the third step is that the honey bees then store the honey as food, right? So this is why usually the flowering season of there are plants which are having their flowering season, right? So the bees collect all the nectar as much as they can collect during the flowering season, and then what they do, they convert the nectar into honey and then they save it into their hives, right? So this is saved, honey as food is saved where? It is saved in their beehive, right? And from here, this is the fourth step where we are involved. What we do is we collect this honey from these hives, right? This is the way in which we are able to obtain honey, and this is the three-step process where the honey is made with the help of the honeybees, right? Then this rearing of the honey is also called as apiculture, like we have already discussed, right? So also called as the apiculture, as we have already discussed. So this is the way in which honey is made. Now let's move on to another question, and this is a very crucial question, that is there any of our food that we eat that comes from sources other than the plants or animals? We have studied that how either we have the main sources are the plants and animals. So is there any source, anything which is giving us food apart from plant and animal? And the answer to that is no, right? We do not have anything, any source apart from these living organisms, that is the plant and animal, which provide us with the food material. Only one thing, that is the salt, of course it is not a food material. It is basically an ingredient which is there for cooking of the food, right? Only the salt is there which is provided, or which we obtain from either the rock or we obtain it from the sea. So either rock or the sea, these are the two areas, or these are the two sources which we obtain salt from. But let's be clear that salt is not a food product. It is simply an ingredient which is used for making the food tasty, right? And also definitely there are some health benefits of the salt, but basically this is not the food material. It does not provide us with any kind of energy. There is only one mineral in this salt, right? So the answer to this particular question is no. That is, no food product is obtained from any other source apart from plant or animal. I hope you were able to clearly understand the sources of the plant and also what part of the plant is important for us, is edible, whereas others are non-edible, and different animal products.